Most of you are f***ing up your TikTok dances. I'm about to show you 3 critical mistakes that 99% of TikTokers make. By the way, I'm MENI. I've trained for 3 years, every day, 3 hours straight at a professional dance studio. Let's break down what everyone's doing wrong. They didn't even start strong. Okay, I don't even know how to even start. They didn't start strong. This person, I'm almost certain, labels themselves as a dancer. Remember, being part of that identity involves you performing for your viewers, for your audience. You really have to put a little bit more effort. Mona Lisa, I go sweep you off your feet. Right when it said, Mona Lisa, I'm gonna sweep you off your feet, they were really in sync. The unfortunate part is right when the two are extending their, I believe, right foot, they're not in sync. The difficult part about being a dancer is that you have to be in sync with your fellow dancers and being in sync with the music, right? There's specific intentions behind the movements. The whole point of dancing, at least the way I've been taught, is that in order to have phenomenal pocket, your body's movements match the sonic qualities of a song. So if you hear a boom, 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 you really want to emphasize the quickness and massive power in your moves. And in this case, not only were they not in sync, they didn't match the song. She said, make some time for me, see for this, let me and you. Dude, like, dude, I don't even. They really need to focus on good foundation. You can't just shake your body and assume that you're doing the thing, right? It is fun for enjoyment, but if you're making a video, right, it is a representation of how well you are of a dancer and how well you can execute. Execution is how well you can carry out a plan and the outcome matching that plan, right? And this is definitely not that case. I mean, they're very young, and I enjoy seeing youthful dancers try to portray their skills on TikTok. I really think they can elevate with taking a little bit more prep time in doing the dance. Really analyze what are the specific moves, getting to the nitty gritty, the very fine details. This is just awkward. The problem here is that right before that, they were not in sync. Again, when you're dancing, you really want to be in sync with your fellow dancers. And that involves making sure that everyone is on the same page. What are the specific moves that we're going to do at the specific timestamp or specific count or the sound? Please show them your face. I do like the ending there, and they just played it off like, oh, we enjoyed doing our dance. It was really nice. It was cool, sweet. They really got to focus on the specific dance moves or movements that the original creator intended for, right? It's going to take a little bit more time for inexperienced dancers, and I've been susceptible to this too, right? I think that I can do a specific dance routine in less than 2 seconds, but that usually isn't the case, right? It takes a lot of time in order for someone brand new to match someone who's incredibly seasoned. So if there was one tip, I would say really pay attention to the movements and take a little bit more time in preparing for the dance. Now let's see what a good quality version of this dance is. Beautiful. So beautiful. You would hear the little drums in the back. They matched their bodies to the sonic qualities of that sound. And they took a pause. It's very slight, very small, but it makes all the difference when you compare the entire routine to the smaller movements that they make, right? You really have to dissect the movements and understand timing as it relates to the whole entire piece. And I love the fact that they just highlighted that sound effortlessly. Oh my God. That foot movement is incredibly difficult to do. Do you know how much flexibility you have to do that specific movement and, move back too? Like, that ain't easy, right? And these are young folk, but I'm telling you, that movement is not easy, especially when it's asking you to get up real quick. And so they did that so effortlessly. And the crazy part is they didn't overcomplicate it. I've seen this dance done by a bunch of people. They made sure to do just enough where it didn't go above and beyond their physical capacity. Some people can move one way, other people can move a different way, and some people just can't do it at all. It's really important to find out how you can be efficient and effective with your movements.
Make some time for me, sleep for this like me and you tap like hush for me. We walk in, they stare, please show them your face.
I love that. They were very smooth. And if you notice, there was one specific part where they veered off from the routine, but they were able to come back into the routine. And that takes a lot of skill, right? You have to be able to get out of your equilibrium. And I've seen beginner and intermediate dancers completely mess up the routine just by them moving into a different spot. So let's say you're in a room, right? You're in one corner of the room, right? And then you move all the way to the right or all the way in the back. Once you change your orientation, you immediately forget the choreography in a specific dance class. When you're doing a TikTok dance, you can only imagine that if you don't have a lot of practice or experience, you're going to mess up with just one variable change. Let's see what the original looks like so we have a reference.
Mona Lisa, I go sweep you up.
See, this is what I mean by reference. I was talking about execution earlier. This is the plan. This is what we are trying to mimic or at least make our own version of. And so when it comes to execution, you have to be able to follow it to a T. And then once you can follow it to a T, you can break the rules. You're allowed to do that. It's very similar to musicians, right? Or people who play instruments. They learn music theory or the baseline requirements so that they know when they can break the rules. And the same goes for dance. And I loved that in the previous video we watched, the ladies followed the pocket effortlessly. They respected the musicality of this original creator's dance, and they really paid attention to what specific movements they were supposed to do. Love it. It's crazy. Like, you've got, what, 50 people all matching movements? That's not easy, bro. It looks easy because you can just watch videos, but I'm telling you, when you do it, it's totally different. And that's what we call technique. More on that a little bit later. Oh my God. Whenever I see that time for me, it's so entertaining.
She said, make some time for me, sleep for this like me and you tap like hush for me. We walk in, they stare, please show them your face.
Oh my God, the footwork, I'm at a loss for words. All right, let's see this next failure of a TikTok dance. Ugh. Nah, dude, already, dude, what the? Ay-ya. So the dancer in the back, right? First and foremost, they look like they're having fun. The problem is that they're not in sync. They're not doing the same moves. Do the same moves. You have to match your arms. You have to match your legs. And most importantly, have a groove. I can't tell you how many times people think, oh, I'm too good to get into a beginner dance class. I should be able to go into intermediate and advanced. No, you go to beginner hip hop dance classes so that you have good foundation. Once you have good foundation, you will sweep the floor with anyone who doesn't have it. I promise you. Okay, they had the drop and paused. I like that. Bro, if I catch these people out, match your arms. It is important. Match the arms. These small mistakes add up. They did have pretty solid foundation as far as how to wave. That was nice. There's a lot going on here that needs to get fixed. They really do need to prepare a little bit more. They should emphasize the up and down grooves. What was very interesting about this group is that they kept different levels throughout the dance, right? You can see that they were a bit upright and you can see that they were a bit down below. And I like that. I love that a lot. Most of the time, people just stay still and just move their body. No, you want to keep that bounce, the groove. As far as technique is concerned, it is completely out the window. I mean, it's really bad. Like, technique is the way that you do a specific move, right? And there were plenty of moments where they weren't in sync, and it made me believe that they don't even have a solid foundation of technique. Now, technique can be misinterpreted as technique in ballet or contemporary, but in this case, we're just talking about how they are able to go about a specific task. Now, think of a routine as multiple moves, right? And I'm critiquing on how well they can do one move versus another move versus another move versus another move. If they can't even have a solid foundation of one move and it just keeps messing up, they got no technique. All right, let's see what a good quality version of this dance is going to be like.
In the club, take off. Come on, baby, keep on going. What you doing? Girl, I'm trying to get you next to me, but first you gotta let me see that booty work.
Let's go, Pops! Oh my God, these 5 got it. Yo, listen, if someone tells you you can't dance at an old age, they lying. Look at these guys. They are in sync. This is a perfect example of where they don't really have to do that much. You don't have to be flashy. You don't have to do extravagant moves. You just have to have that solid foundation when it comes to dancing in a group. And these 5, they've got it.
Booty work, booty work, booty work, booty work, booty work, booty work, booty work. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what's also good about this? They're moving like a unit. When they're, left cheek, right cheek, left cheek, right cheek, they're almost as if they're looking like a wave of humans moving one way and another. It's so good. Oh my God. The other 2 in the previous video can learn a thing or two with these 5. They've got it. Now let's look at the reference to understand how we're going to compare.
In the club, take off. Come on, baby, keep on going. What you doing? Girl, I'm trying to get you next.
Man, every time I see Niana, I'm like, wow. And I apologize if I botched the name, but she's got so much swag. I need some of that. Come on. Give me some of it.
To me, but first you gotta let me see that booty work, 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 booty work. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't even know what else to say. I mean, the little kid in the back, if that's her sister or cousin, I don't know. She's even killing it too. She understands that you don't have to rush. You really don't. And I love the way that she ended this, right? It was just a little groove, little swagging at the end. And I mean, that is efficient use of energy. She just probably recorded that in like 2 seconds. I don't know. And no time at all. She's very experienced, so she can get away with not prepping a lot. And she also made the dance, so she knows or has an arsenal of dance moves in the back of her mind, when to use it, how to use it, etc. I love watching her. Every time I watch her videos, I'm just smiling. It's crazy how entertaining and how much showmanship she has. All right, let's see the next failure of a TikTok. All right, no. I mean, the problem here is that, like the other group dancers, they're not in sync. And you know what I have a problem with? They are upright. They are not bouncing. This song calls for a bounce. Stop being so upright. They're just moving their legs. I mean, it makes or breaks your ability to have good technique, good execution. And this is already distasteful to me. Like, it is nice, it is wholesome, and I'm sure they're not professional dancers, right? But I mean, when it comes to doing work with other people, collaborating with people, you really have to find the finer details. Don't just do the moves just for the sake of doing the moves. And to be frank, sometimes when people do these dances, they don't even know, oh, what is this supposed to look like? No one's validating whether or not they're doing the dance appropriately. I don't have access to the creators that create these dances. No one does. I mean, unless you're in their personal network, you can't really tell. You can only just learn from your friends who are also studying and figuring out, okay, this is how we should be doing the dance. So do more prep work. As far as what they need to work on, I think that if they have the opportunity and both of them want to keep dancing, I think they should learn how to dance with each other specifically as much as they possibly can. Get as many reps as you possibly can before filming it, right? They do look cute and they do look, presentable, right? Most people can entertain others if they really can sell what they've got. And I've seen people who say that it's 95% confidence. I have a personal belief that confidence comes from competence. And so if you know that you can do the thing and you've had people tell you, yes, you are capable of doing X, Y, and Z, then of course you're going to be confident. But there is a false sense of confidence that most people have that sometimes they can use to sell crappy dance moves. But ideally, you learn good technique, good movement quality, so that you can have better executions, better showmanship, and better entertaining capabilities. All right, let's see what a good quality version of this TikTok dance looks like. They did well at pausing. Literally, they stopped when the beat had a momentary pause. I mean, what can I say? They're just perfectly in sync. It's very similar to the 5 elderly men that were dancing to booty work. They just made it simple enough where all 3 of them can do the moves. It's not well without someone else's range, right? All of them are capable of moving a certain way, and so it just made it look that much cleaner. All right, let's see what the reference looks like so that we know how it should look like. Very wavy. I mean, dude, I don't even know these dancers, but I love how smooth and silky they are. They know how to emphasize the sonic qualities. Again, I'm going to say it multiple times so you understand, through their body. The crazy part is that they knew how to use levels. They were upright. They were down low. That makes or breaks all great dances. Okay, don't just stand up. I can't say this enough. Like, sometimes I think it's a psychological issue where some people are just not comfortable failing at the first go, and that is part of the ego. That's like you realizing, oh, I'm not as good as I think I am. But it doesn't mean you can't be good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to click this video to check out more of my TikTok reaction videos to see how I analyze other dances, and I'll be sure to post more content in the future. Until then, peace.